And then I went up. So, okay, so that was Alice, right? And then on Friday, Marilyn Manson played, who I was extremely curious and interested in seeing, because I have not seen Manson since everything went down. And as I've said many, many times, I have always been a fan of Manson's music since day one, and what he does on stage and the theatricality of it. But I have not seen Manson since all the craziness of the last four years or so, whatever it's been. And I was told by many that Manson is a changed guy and is completely sober and is, very, very different. Just, completely focused and just a changed guy. And I've done a lot with Manson over the years. I had him on the TV show twice. And he was anything but sober every single time I've ever been with him or around him. I've sat in his dressing room with him over the years and had a drink and talked post-show or what have you. So, and ever since everything went on, and he was effectively canceled and had many, many allegations and lawsuits brought against him and documentaries and all of the stuff we've covered and know. I've not seen him play, but we've talked about him gradually getting his career back and going out there now for the last couple of years, making a really good new album, getting a new record deal, going out on tours, Live Nation produced events, and for the most part, hardly any blowback or controversy whatsoever, which is really pretty incredible. Now, we do know that he recently had a couple shows in Europe canceled because of controversy, because of, people wanting the shows canceled, because of the allegations. But in America, it's been smooth sailing. So he and I have been in touch via text. He, about a year ago, texted me from his new phone number and gave me his new number, and he invited me to his birthday party, invited me to a listening party for the record, neither of which I could go to. But, I've been in touch with him a little bit here and there on text. But I've not talked to him or seen him play live. So I was backstage and an SUV pulls in and out gets Manson. And he looked great. The guy is physically in phenomenal shape, probably the best shape of his life. He's clearly been on some health regimen. He's clearly totally sober. And he must have a trainer or something. He even had, his arms, you could see he was defined. He was in crazy physical shape. Like, for him, the best I ever saw him look. And he got out of the vehicle with a woman who appeared to be his girlfriend and saw me standing there. And he walked over and gave me a hug and said, "Hey, Ed, how are you?" And I said, "I'm good." I said, "Manson, good to see you, man. I'm looking forward to the show." He goes, "Cool." And with that, he kept walking and went into his trailer. I spent a lot of time talking to some guys in his band who I know. Tyler Bates, his guitar player, producer. I know Tyler, super talented guy. Talked to him for a while. Talked to Piggy D, who played with Rob Zombie, who's now Manson's bass player. Talked to him for a while. Piggy, by the way, told me he has a track on the coming Peter Criss rock solo album, which he told me is really, really good. So looking forward to music from that. So I'm running down all this stuff for you guys because not only to recap Rocklahoma, but also I talked to so many people over this weekend, and I'm getting news from people because we talk, we all talk about what's going on backstage. But Piggy D was telling me the Peter Criss rock solo album coming is really, really good. It's a real rock album, and he's got a lot of cool guests on it. And Piggy was saying he played on one song. So it's good to talk to him. And I talked to Gil, Manson's drummer, for a long time as well. And then Manson, I introduced Manson, who played Rocklahoma for the first time. And then as I walk off stage, Manson comes out, and I just went to the wings of the stage to watch. And as I'm standing there watching, who walks over to me to watch Manson and came over all the way from the other stage, but Alice Cooper. Now, of course, Alice, was a huge influence on Manson, and they know each other. And I posted a video on my social media. You may have seen it. You can see it if you want right now, because I couldn't help it. I took a video of Alice watching Manson, and I wrote, "It's almost like dad watching his bastard child." Because it's the same, Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson, the same deal. And Manson's open about that, but there's really a lot of differences over the years between Manson and Alice Cooper. As for as many of similarities there are in the concept and all, it's also very different. Alice has been completely sober for 25, 30 years. Alice is a born-again Christian. Manson hasn't been sober his whole life except for the last couple years, and Manson has all this occult stuff around him. But it's interesting that the two are friends, and Alice came over, and I actually said to Alice, because we stood there talking, I said to Alice, I go, "It's almost like you're watching your bastard child here, isn't it?" And he laughed. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "But I went and talked to him." He goes, "Before he went on," he goes, "and I'm happy he's turned it around, and I'm pulling for him to keep it together and to get through everything." I said, "Yeah, well, I said he seems to be well on his way." Manson went out there, played like an hour set. If I'm being honest, I did not love his set list. Thought it could have been a little from personal taste, of course, songs I wanted to hear, some things that weren't there that I wish were, vice versa. But the big ones were there, but Beautiful People, Sweet Dreams, Dope Show, Mob Scene, and some stuff from the new record. But it was not his usual set because he only had an hour versus a full headline set. And then after the show, when he was leaving, came over and said hello again as he was going to the car. And I said, and then afterwards he texted me and said, "Good to see you." And I sent him a really cool, you may have seen a photo I posted of him where I was standing side stage. It started turning dark when he was on. And I caught this photo from the side of the stage with these green lights projecting to him as he's up on the mic. And man, I just caught lightning in a bottle with that photo. I posted it. You can see it. It's a really cool shot, I think. So I sent that to him, and that was that. So that was Manson, who I was really one of the asterisks on this year's lineup for all the reasons I mentioned to who I wanted to see. And it was good to talk to him. It was good to see him. What the future holds. I mean, there's already another record done or close to being done. So he is full go with the relaunch, barring any setbacks legally. He's continuing to do his thing. He is still not doing one interview and has yet to do one interview. Friday was closed out by Five Finger